It's a cold open today, Wayne. We just coming in hot, man. What's up, everybody? We coming in on a different vibe today. It's the R&B show. How we doing, Wayne? Happy Wednesday, man. I know you got to bounce quick, so today's gonna be a little quicker show. So I'll probably hop in with Wayne, and then I'll answer questions afterwards. How you doing, my man?
Bro, I've been listening to R&B all day, bro, cause I don't like I, I don't understand the stuff that be going down in Twitterverse, yo. And at the end of the day, Raj, I just want you to know, keep doing what you're doing, man. Like everybody else gonna have to get a grip because you out there banging. So keep doing what you're doing, bro. Don't let nothing stop your process. At the
I
end,
ain't never.
don't let no man stop making you from making what you need to make, bro. I'll say that.
I
And if
appreciate it.
somebody got something to say, they know they can hit me up, private, public, however they want to do it. I have no problems responding back. But at the end of the day, I thought that was whack. So moving on, let's talk about some of these juicy, non-juicy rumors that's going down in the 49er. Well, you know what? Before we do that, how you doing, bro? How was your
I'm,
day?
I'm good, man. I've been actually, honestly, I haven't even posted on my Instagram in like 2 days. My Twitter, I've been so busy. Work is crazy. Like, I'm glad it's the off season because I don't have like time to post. But man, like, this is right before I text you when we were starting the show. Like, I just sat down literally
Wow.
that minute. I was like, bro, so it's been busy, but I'm good, man. I'm good. There's just a lot of drama lately on all over the place. And especially with the 49ers, man, this drama. I'm sure you talked about it. I know I talked about it last night. Like, that's all it is. I'm just so tired of the drama and it's crazy, man. And it's spilling into 49er land, which, I mean, it's not surprising because we're always having drama. But other than that, man, yeah, I'm good, you know? So,
All right, just a quick check in. I know I checked in with you last night, making sure things was cool. But yeah, man, let's get down, man. I know people are tired. I see Peter Parker. Hey, Peter Parker. People tired of the rumors that's going around. Here, listen. Let me just say this about the rumors. As long as Kirk Cousins is playing in the NFL, there will always be some type of rumor tied to him, Kyle Shanahan, and wherever Kyle Shanahan is coaching. So if Kyle Shanahan was coaching for the Snowcat Blizzards, they would rumor Kirk Cousins being a quarterback for the Snowcat Blizzards at the age of 62. I'm telling you, like he's going to be tied to it. Now the Aaron Rodgers ones is a little, you know, it's a little bit more juicier to me because I can actually see that situation happening because when you check the history of the 49ers 2 years ago before they drafted, or 3 years ago before they drafted Trey Lance, Kyle Shanahan hit up his boy and he was like, hey, hey, yo, hey, what you want for Aaron? He hung up the phone in his face. So
and he
Kyle,
says, nope. He says, no. The thing about these, obviously, it's rumors, and I'm just like, all right, there's no way none of these gonna happen. But I kind of see like the Kirk Cousins thing have some validity. Is first
ooh,
off, Mike Flory. That's the one thing I'm like, all right, it's just Mike Flory throwing stuff because he likes to stir the pot and he thinks he knows everything about the 49ers. But what he
sure,
said was during the combine, he heard, he had a little bunny told him that, oh yeah, the 49ers are hot on the market to trade for Kirk Cousins. I kind of would believe that maybe that was said because we all know, like you said, Kyle Shanahan absolutely loves Kirk Cousins. In 2017, when he took over this team, they didn't scout Mahomes, they didn't scout Watson. What did they try to do? They was trying to get Kirk Cousins, and then they ended up getting Jimmy Garoppolo. They talked themselves into that situation. So, do I think that maybe Kyle would have called Kirk or the Vikings? I'm sure he did. I'm sure there was talk. I don't think it's going to happen because I think he found his Kirk Cousins 2.0 and Brock Purdy. But everything hinges on him being healthy. And that's the big unknown. That's what everybody, not sure of. So because Brock Purdy's not healthy right now, all these rumors are getting absolutely just thrown out there. Like yesterday, I logged in Twitter and I see like there's Aaron Rodgers, there's Kirk Cousins. There was Mac Jones room, bro. Mac Jones in the Niners. I was like, stop it, man.
bro. There's a Mac. Okay, so the story with Mac Jones, right, is that Bill Belichick is through. He's finito. They done. The relationship is soured. It's been severed, right? And so there's a possibility that Belichick might be willing to trade Mac Jones straight up for a Trey Lance. And I'm like, Oh, hell no. If Kyle Shanahan let that happen, Raj, if he lets that happen, I mean, there's going to be a self destruction. Like the media is going to go bananas, bro. Like they will go bananas. Kyle don't want that smoke. He don't want that smoke. Not that smoke. Get anybody else. Don't get that smoke because everybody kept saying that that was the pick that Kyle Shanahan was going to go with. He was going to go with Mac Jones at 3. Blah 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 blah. This is that and the third, and he went Trey Lance. And if that happens, and he trades Trey Lance for a Mac Jones, I'm telling you, the media's going to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. At the end of the day, it sucks because Matt Jones essentially is the same as everybody else. He doesn't stretch the field. He's not this. He's not the guy that we want. He's not a good running quarterback. He's not a good scrambler. At the end of the day, we're going to be stuck right in the same situation, and we need a quarterback that's going to start challenging these defenses. This is why I don't want to move on from Trey Lance. Put the validity to the story that everybody's trying to piece together. It's the Minnesota story. It's Kirk Cousins, Kyle Shanahan, Trey Lance back home to Minnesota. He
Mm.
won't have to compete against nobody. He'll immediately be the starter. But why the hell would Kyle Shanahan do that when we need to continue making sure that this team is built on these rookie quarterback contracts?
I know. I think what it is people, and I've said this before, like Kyle Shanahan absolutely loves Kirk Cousins. So I think the one quarterback in this league that he would die for, he would go to war for, would be Kirk Cousins. So that's why I think people are like, man, this could actually be a thing. And people are throwing it out there. And Florio knows that. He knows, oh, Kyle Shanahan, Kirk Cousins. Here comes Chris Sims putting his 2 cents in. And Chris Sims is close to Kyle. So again, it's rumor season. This is the time of the year, especially the last couple weeks before the draft. You got these stories. And this one might actually sound realistic. So Florio's going to roll with it, and it's going to create some reasonable doubt in the 49ers fan community because, again, the 49ers, will they trade Trey Lance? We don't know. There's been a lot of reports, a lot of rumors, a lot of people saying, like Ian Rappaport last week, oh, Sam Darnold's going to be the backup. So if Sam Darnold's going to be the backup, what happens to Trey Lance? And it's like you said, they could trade him to Minnesota, the Minnesota boy, hometown hero. He gets a fresh start, and he could stick it to the Niners. So there is actually some realistic vibes with this thing. I don't think it happens though. But again, it all hinges on Brock Purdy. So it seems like it does have some validity, but man, I don't think it's gonna happen. But again, I feel like the reason is because everybody thinks Kyle and Kirk Cousins are like this. They're attached at the hip. So I think that's why people are so like, oh, maybe this is it. But going back to Mac Jones, if they trade Trey Lance for Mac Jones, straight up, are you kidding me? And look at this comment. People have already forgot about anyone but Mac for number 3 pick. If they go and trade Trey Lance straight up, you basically wasted that whole draft season, all those draft picks. What are you the drama you created? There's no way in hell Kyle Shanahan will take that L because not only will you admit that you were wrong in the first place, that man has the biggest ego in the NFL. There's absolutely no way. And you're right. He's just an ugly looking version of Jimmy Garoppolo. That's all he is to me, man. Please do not trade for Mac Jones. That's all I got to say.
We don't need Mac in the Bay. We just don't need Mac Jones in the Bay. Look, I'm all in on the quarterbacks that we have. I think I put out a tweet and said I'm super satisfied with the quarterback room. And here's the thing. Look, when I think about Trey Lance, I already know he has this innate ability to do things that we've never seen before, right? We know he has this crazy high ceiling. We talk about it on every episode. It's just that we haven't seen it come to fruition yet. And so, look, I'm looking at going into this season as things just being on the up and up for the 49ers. I mean, at some point, all the bad luck has to run out. I mean, you get your team last year, you get to the first game, you're on the road in Chicago, and you're like, yeah, Trey Lance versus Justin Fields. This is going to be a mega crazy game. And all of a sudden, it's torrentially downpouring. The monsoon comes. You lose Elijah Mitchell in the second half. Like, defense has brain farts, and it couldn't get any worse. And then the week after that, he ends up getting a season-ending injury against the game against Seattle. So I'm thinking everything, that bad luck, all that stuff, I'm throwing it out the window. It's time for the bad luck to go. And if Kyle was all in on Trey, then I feel no matter what he says, I know he's saying it's going to be a competition, Raj. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. He's all in on Trey. And honestly, he has no choice but to be because you don't know what you're going to get in Sam Darnold. I don't care what he did in Carolina. I don't care what he did for the New York Football Jets. He ain't did nothing in San Francisco. I'm more confident in Trey Lance than I am Sam Darnold. And you really said it. You hit the nail on the head. You don't really know what's going to go on with Brock Purdy. When he does return, will he be football ready? Will he be able to complete these throws? Will he be in the right mindset? So you got to put your eggs, you got to go in on Trey. I think he's just trying to keep the media like at bay until that camp starts, man. It's gonna be dope though. It's like Trey Lance is gonna light this shit on fire, dog.
I know.
I could feel it.
I know. I'm excited to see what Trey does this year because I'm sure he's sitting back listening to all these damn shows, media, podcasts. He sees all the tweets. It's not like he's blind. He's 22 years old. You know how 22-year-olds are? They're hip to they're attached to their social media. I mean, this guy, like he said this offseason, he goes, I was like a fan page. I was just reposted all my buddies' pics and posts, Ray McLeod, and he's like, I'd be posted. So he's on his phone seeing this stuff. He's keeping the receipts inside here, and he's gonna go work his ass off, and it's gonna be fireworks. If he's really, coming for blood, and if he's that, hungry, it's gonna be a special off season for Trey. So I feel like the people that are doubting Trey, they'll realize real quick that, oh man, this guy's something. He's actually coming in, and he wants to prove himself. He's gonna be hungry, and Sam Darnold's gonna be hungry. He's not coming in to play backup quarterback to anybody. So I'm sure he's going to bring his A game, but Trey knows that. He knows this is Brock's team right now, but he was the big man on campus a couple years back. He was the number 3 pick. He was the guy. He was the one. He's the guy that Kyle took. He put all the chips in the basket, like you said, eggs in the basket because it's Easter this weekend. He put the eggs in the basket. He was the one. They traded all the 3 picks. They didn't take Mac Jones. They didn't pick Justin Fields. They put Trey Lance. He knows it. And he knows he's got to go and prove himself to everybody. The people like us, the Niner fans, the media, the Kyle Shanahan and the coaching staff, John Lynch, who, scouted him, and Adam Peters and everybody else. He knows he needs to prove himself. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what Trey Lance does. I'm excited, man.
And since it's the off season, I'm encouraging everybody to go and watch week 1 and the very few snaps of week 2. Just watch Trey Lance, watch him in his progressions, watch the difference in between the weather. Like, just watch how he plays, man. He's playing. I would say he played a little more like, oh, I don't want to mess up. Oh, I don't want to make a mistake. I guarantee you he won't come into this season the same way. Like, he's going to come into the season just ready to play football. Like, have fun out there. Go out there, command his team, lead his troops to touchdowns, lead his troops to victories. And then you'll see everything start to churn for the San Francisco 49ers. Look, as long as they're in the playoffs at the end of the day, I'm all set. I don't care if we go whatever. As long as we get a shot in the playoffs, I'm good to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we want to play for. If you get to the playoffs, you got a chance to win the championship. Although I do have a little different take on that. I want to get to the playoffs, 100%. I want to be the number 1 seed though this year. I want the playoffs to run through the Niners because I feel like it does matter a little bit because what is the best chance we've had over the last couple of years? 2019, we made it to the Super Bowl. Obviously, we didn't win, but that year we had home field advantage in the playoffs. And these last 2 years, you can just see they got so tired. Down the stretch, having all those road games, especially 2021 when they ended up, going to LA and, they had the game before in Green Bay, in Dallas, they got gassed out. That's all I know. And then last year, Bosa was gassed out. I don't care if they just make I do want to see them make the playoffs and I'd be happy. I'd be content. But this year, with this talent, with this roster, I think I want to see them be that number 1 seed. So I want to make sure they get off to a hot start. And that's why it's so important to make sure that this quarterback situation is figured out and you got that guy to go out there and do the thing. If it's Brock, I don't care. If it's Trey Lance, I don't care. If it's Sam Darnold, I don't care. Whatever you got to do to get that good start on the season, because I do think that is important to start this year off. Because, again, we don't want to be playing catch-up. We don't want to be playing in the Link. We don't want to be playing in Philadelphia on that NFC Championship game. We want to be at Levi Stadium, home field, screaming in front of the faithful. That's what I feel like we need. So, but yeah, if they just get to the playoffs, obviously I'll be happy. But I want a little bit more. I was listening to George Kittle on the Pat McAfee show a little bit this morning, and he was talking about how, man, this team is just so physical. And he can't wait to kick some ass, and how this team is just so punch you in the mouth. And he was talking about how after every week someone played the Niners, they would lose the next week, except the Chiefs because they had the bye week. But he says that's how they play. They want to hit people in the mouth. And I want the Niners to continue to just hit people in the mouth, but I want them to win those early games because they get hit in the mouth. They kind of break down at points in the season. I want to make sure they start off strong because they do play so physical that it does kind of catch up at some point. And that's what we saw with Bosa this year. He was tired down the stretch. So quarterback position is very important to make sure we start off on a good footing.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, the year we started off on that good footing, I mean, we went and we had the home field advantage in the playoffs and we were in the Super Bowl. And then a couple of years, we actually started off slow. I mean, we did make it to the NFC Championship games, but we didn't make it to the Super Bowl. So I could see your spin on that, and it's a really good take actually. But here's my thing. Look, my point is, it doesn't matter. Just don't let us end up. We get to the playoffs, it's a wrap. I don't give who we play. I don't care where we play. I don't care if we got to travel. Team's different. Key to 49ers championship season this year is staying healthy at the right positions, right? Quarterback needs to be healthy. We got 3 of them. Keep running them suckers healthy just in case something happens. I feel like you got Javon Hargrave now. That's going to help, like, relieve some pressure on Nick Bosa. So, yeah, he was tired down the stretch. Yeah, he did run out of gas in that Philadelphia Eagles game. But I guarantee you, they added some real toughness up front on that defensive interior line. Another guy that can add some pressure to those quarterbacks. So, my point is, let us in the playoffs. It's over. I don't care what the seeding is. I just feel like the 49ers they're going to punch whoever they need to punch in the mouths. They can win on the road. They can win at home. But
don't matter what seed. Don't matter what seed it is. Don't matter what seed it is. Okay, I like it. We're gonna go in there wild card and punch these teams in the mouth, knock them out, and take it to the Super Bowl. I like it. I like it. I like it. I want it. Hey, if that happens, bro,
I'm just saying if that happens, yeah, just one. We just need to. Hey, I tell you what. Here's even better. Just win the damn division again.
That's it. If we can win the division, I'll be happy for sure. But
we're automatically in the playoffs.
I'm greedy, right, Wayne. I want that number 1 seed. I
want it too. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying I don't want the number 1 seed. I'm just saying there might be some things that don't go in our favor, like throughout the season. But all I'm saying is win the division, get you a playoff spot, and then you take it from there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the goal, is just to get to the playoffs. That's the first goal. I mean, obviously some teams are, they want to be the top of the top. If it happens, it happens. It's great. It's an amazing accolade. But it's a tough league. Injuries do happen. You do get tired. So I see where you come from in terms of just get there. Because it's not even a guarantee to get there. It's not even a guarantee to get there.
Right. Yeah. And the main difference from our team and all these other teams, we're playoff ready. Like our team is made for the playoffs. It's just a different level. Yeah. And the only reason why we know what happened in Philly, we lost our starting quarterback. I mean, name any team that would have been able to win that game without their starting quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. No, 100%. And you're right, because this team, what do we say every year once they get to the playoffs? They're like, oh, that's the team nobody wants to play. That's the team nobody wants to play. We could be like 3rd seed, whatever. And teams are like, oh, we got to play the Niners because it's that defense. Like you said, the interior D-line even got better. You got guys like Fred Warner, best in the league, and then you got guys like Debo, and they're going to hit you in the mouth. George Kittle, like these guys are, you're right, they're going to hit you plain straight in the mouth. They're going to knock your teeth out. Trent Williams, coming right at you. Like, you remember that playoff game last year, Trent Williams was abusing Parsons, man. So you're right. At the end of the day, as long as we get an opportunity to get there, I feel like this team can take a deep run, no matter who they play, no matter what. And I think the key, though, yeah, you're right, is making sure that damn starting quarterback doesn't get hurt, because that right there ended our season, man. That was rough.
That's the key, man. That's the key. Listen, Raj, I gotta run. I gotta jump off. I gotta do my little sound check.
Yeah.
Give me an R&B song you want to hear tonight, and I'll try to record it as we do it.
Let's drop some. Let's get some Boys to Men, man. I need to hear some Boys to Men, man. Bended Knee. Let's get some Boys to Men. Let's do it.
Oh, that's a tough one. We don't got the harmonies. We don't. Oh. Maybe we'll do a little End of the Road or something. And
End of the Road. Let's do a little End of the Road. Let's go. End of the road.
Listen, everybody out there, make sure y'all stay on. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate what you guys are doing for the R&B show. First Wednesdays, my portion of the show has to be cut short. As you can see, my light keep going out. I'm getting dark. But I love y'all. Stay up. Stay faithful. Thanks for watching, man. Raj, hold it down, baby.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next week, Wayne. Same regular time next week.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my boy Wayne Breezy. Had to cut it a little short today. First, first Wednesday of the week. You got to cut a little short. He's got his sound check, and I'm coming back from work, so we got to, compromise our schedule. But after that, every other week, it'll be 4:30 p.m. for an hour. But let's get some questions out there. What do you guys think about the rumors? How are we feeling about these crazy, crazy, crazy rumors out there? We talked about it yesterday, but what do you guys feel? How do you feel about everything going on in 49ers land? Do you think this team is poised to win a Super Bowl? You think they're ready to go to the playoffs? You think that the quarterback situation would be fixed out? I don't know. Let me get a pulse of what the fans are thinking out there, Quad City DJs. These rumors are ass, says No Border Sports. That's how it is, They're frustrating. We see them every year, and it's annoying, man. At the end of the day, it's very annoying. But again, this is the time of the year where the media knows that there's not much to talk about, so they're just gonna throw stuff out there. And it's the viewers, we have to sit here and understand what's good, sources, who's lying, who's blowing smoke up our ass, all that stuff. So So my man Ted says, Mimi says they're lonely and need attention. Absolutely. Ted says someone tried to tell me Mac Jones is better than Purdy. You know what? You know what? I saw that. I think you tweeted that, Ted. I think I saw that somewhere on Twitter. I was on my lunch break looking, and I saw some Mac Jones is better than Purdy. Are you kidding me? No disrespect to Mac. He had a decent rookie season, but did you see what Brock Purdy did last year? He was the last pick in the NFL draft. He was setting records. He was, he played 6 games in the regular season. He was nominated for Offensive Rookie of the Year. The guy was incredible. Mac Jones, this guy, I mean, he regressed so much in that second year compared to his first year. I tell you, if they go and get Mac Jones, I will be so disgusted. I will be so disheartened. I don't know, man. I agree. I do not. I can't believe anybody would say Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy. I mean, just the body of work last year and what Brock Purdy did. He took this team to the NFC Championship. So it's crazy to me. Ignis says, I think the quarterback situation will play itself out. I think so too. I hope so. I think obviously it's off season. We need content. People are going to push these narratives. They're going to talk about their player. They're going to talk about their side of the thing. This happens every year. And I do feel that you're right, that eventually everything will play out because it always does. Last year, same thing happened. We were here talking about, oh my God, is it going to be Jimmy? Is it going to be Trey? Is it going to be Trey Lance? Are they going to trade Jimmy? Who are they going to trade him to? What's going to happen? And it was the same story in a certain way, So I feel like you're right. It eventually did play itself out, and I think that's what's going to happen. And I feel like Kyle and John Lynch, honestly, they didn't say anything too shocking last week. But the problem is the media is speculating, and the media is creating this rift, because nobody knows. There's a lot of uncertainty, so it's their job to create this speculation, and people, they start getting worried, and it creates a reasonable doubt in the fan base, and that's what's going on. But I agree with you. I think that it'll play itself out, and everything will work out just fine. Let's see. Peter Parker says, if the quarterback situation gets figured out with this roster, we can win multiple, like 2 and 3 or 2 and 4 years. Absolutely. If they get a stabilized quarterback with this roster and it stays intact and they can stay healthy, I feel like this team 100% can go on a mini run here. It could be a dynasty. But at the end of the day, that quarterback position is very important. They do have to stay healthy with it. So my man Aaron, 49ers First Take, says, as long as the 49ers have quarterback issues, they'll always be connected to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. I agree with that. That's what it is they, and I said this last night, that you have this team that it has these quarterback issues, I guess. There's no stability. So what are people going to do in the media? They know that. So they're like, we can use the 49ers as a target audience, because 49er fans like myself, like you guys, we want a quarterback situation to be stabilized because we haven't seen it. We've seen greatness go through these, locker rooms, Steve Young and Joe Montana. We saw that. We've seen Super Bowl championships. We've seen games where this team, if we would have had better quarterback play, they would have won a Super Bowl maybe, right? So I feel like the media knows that. And until we do have stability in the quarterback room, there's going to be a rumor towards Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, every single player that you could imagine at quarterback, just like Aaron says. So I agree with you 100%. Julia says, if Purdy was healthy in the NFC Championship, what would have been the score been? I mean, I don't know. That's hard to predict. I think the 49ers had a very good chance of winning that game. I feel like it's a very, that's so hard to predict, what the score is going to be. I mean, situational. I mean, I feel like the 49ers could have won that game by 7 points, maybe 3 points. I think they could have won by 10 points. It's hard to say, but I do think if Brock Purdy was healthy, 100%, I think they could have won the game. All right, that first touchdown too or that first catch to Devonta Smith that led to a touchdown. That should have been overruled. That should have been looked at a little closer. So I feel like there was a lot of situations where it could have went a different way, but that's hard. I couldn't tell you what the score was going to be, but do I think the 49ers could have won that game? Absolutely. And I think a lot of people have said that. I think 49er players have obviously said that. Eagles players have said, yeah, like Hargrave says it would have been a different game if Brock Purdy was there. 100%. He said it. He's like, yeah, if Brock Purdy was there, absolutely would have been a different game. So absolutely would have been a different game. We got a lot of good R&B songs on here. We got some good songs on you. We'll see what Wayne will play on a set. This is gonna be good stuff. Let's see. Aaron, my man, 49ers Throwback wants Aaron to get his YouTube channel back. He'll be back. He's taking a little break. It's good to take breaks. Social media will drain you mentally. It really does, man. It takes a toll on you mentally, and it's tough. So I know Aaron will be back. It's my boy. We'll be back with him sooner rather than later. The draft's coming up. When the draft comes up, people will come out and they'll want to talk about the picks, and there'll be a lot more to talk about. So Eagles were highly unimpressive, like their fans. Their fans are very, 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 they're pretty bad, man. The Eagles fans are absolutely atrocious. I'll tell you that. They were throwing stuff. We saw the videos. So I like Aaron's show. Throwback says Aaron's got a good show, man. He's been doing it for a while now, 4 years. So he's one of the OGs here. Aaron will be back, unlike the Eagles. I agree. Oh man, funny stuff. Let's see. Anything else going on in the news today? Absolutely not. Just rumors, and more rumors. That's really what it is. There's absolutely, there's not too much. I know the 49ers have had some top 30 visits with some players, but other than that, really, really nothing going on with the 49ers. And it's kind of, again, that slow period. To me, so I was looking at some of these draft meetings. The one that really stood out to me, this was yesterday, is a tight end meeting with the NFL, with 49ers. So Zach Kuntz, I don't know if you guys know this guy, tight end, Zach Kuntz. He plays for Old Dominion, or he played for Old Dominion. This guy is a specimen. He's probably my favorite tight end prospect in the draft. I would love the 49ers to go and get this guy. These are some of his stats during pro day, senior, and combine. He had a 4.55 40. He leaped a 30-inch vertical and a 10.8 broad. Man, this guy is an athlete, an absolute athlete, man. Zach Kuntz, I think this guy is just a sick, talented tight end. He had a 6.87 3-cone. Oh my God, a 40-inch vertical. A lot of people rank this guy the number one tight end in the draft. So this guy is just sickening, man. I mean, this guy is a master athlete. You put him and George Kittle in the same room together, it's scary, ladies and gentlemen. So if I envision the 49ers taking a guy early in the draft that can be a superstar player, I know we want edge, I know we want tackle, but if they can get Zach Kuntz on this team, I will go insane. This guy was just he's a fantastic athlete. The guy's huge. Huge. Ted says he was a hurdler. It doesn't surprise me because he's got the attributes, he's got the athleticism. This guy's got the talent to become a premium tight end in this league, man. He scares me. So I would love to see them go and get Zach Kuntz. So Throwback says our goal is to beat the out of our opponents. Yeah, we talked about that earlier when I was talking with Wayne, that the 49ers, there's just a physical team. He was talking about George Kittle today on Pat McAfee, is how the 49ers are so physical, how they just want to beat you and kick your teeth in and beat the shit out of people, right? That's the 49ers. That's their goal. And again, we talked about that in the terms of it may not necessarily make the quarterback the most, important point of this team sometimes, because this team's going to grind you and grind you. But you need to have a quarterback that's going to be able to execute and get the ball to those playmakers. Because you got a guy like George Kittle, CMC, and Debo Samuel, and Brandon Ayuk. These guys are going to crush the living soul out of you. If your quarterback can stay upright and get them the ball and facilitate that, and then if he's a dog on top of it, that's a bonus. And that's why Brock Purdy was so good last year. He was a dog on top of everything he did. So, yeah, I love that quote too. Our goal is to beat the shit out of our opponents. What a guy. I love George Kittle, man. That guy's definitely a leader of this clubhouse, man. Oh, look at this. Christy says we're having a versus battle on Breezy's Discord. 20 people picked best R&B male performer. Starts tomorrow. Look at that. Go run it up. Wayne Breezy's Discord. That's going to be fun. Mark says opponents are 0-18 the week after playing the Niners. That's how physical we are. Yep, Kittle talked about that. We talked about that a few months ago after the season, and it just shows you how good the team is. They beat these teams into submission. That's what they want to do. They want to pound you. They want to pummel you, right? It's, again, the one team that didn't lose the week right after they played Niners was the Chiefs, because they were on a bye week. And I guess technically the Eagles, they didn't lose the next week because it was the week before the Super Bowl. But if we're getting even technicaler, right, after they played the 49ers, they did play the Chiefs, and then they lost that game. So, oh man, that was just a hell of a stat. That's how good the 49ers were this year. They beat their teams into submission. Just crushed team. They crushed them. That's how great it was. It was nice to see the 49ers just go out there, and every week, man, you can tell they made teams just switch their game up. When the Dolphins played us, right, they were supposed to be the speed powerhouse. They couldn't even do anything. They couldn't get the ball down the field. And then after the Niners game, the Dolphins fell apart. They lost game after game after game. So the 49ers, man, they don't just beat teams. They embarrass them. They humiliate them. They break them down. And that's why the 49ers, I think, have a very good chance of getting into the Super Bowl next year, or at least into the playoffs. Like Wayne was saying, they can go on a deep run because this team is built for success. They're built for a deep run. They're built for the playoffs. So it's a nasty team. It's a nasty team. It's probably the reason why they were the number 2, power ranked team according to PFF last week, right? They were talking about pre-draft top 10 teams, and they gave power rankings, and 49ers were number 2 behind the Chiefs. And that's it. It's true. Look at this roster, right? We know all these just dogs on the roster. So, this team they're going to go far. No matter what happens at the quarterback situation, I feel like this team will go absolutely far. They got a good team. And that's why I think somebody in the chat earlier says the quarterback situation will play itself out. And you're absolutely right. 49ers throwback says, you don't like old school music? Who said that? When did I say that? Did I say this? See, this is the thing, man. You guys instigate. You guys assume so much. I haven't said that I didn't. Who says that I don't? I don't know, man. Y'all instigate too much on social media. I see it every day, but I never said I don't. I love all music. I love 90s. I'm a 90s kid myself. I love old school jams. I love a lot of music, man. I'm an eclectic guy, but I never said I didn't. So you gotta chill, man. You can't believe everything you hear on the internet also, by the way, but some people do. My man 49ers first take says, with the way we play that smash mouth style, we need that by number 1 seed. That's kind of what I was saying to Wayne earlier, is because we are so physical, because this team plays so strong and they want to kick your teeth in, they get tired down the stretch. We absolutely need to have that bye week. It's imperative. It's imperative to be the number 1 seed going into the playoffs, because you see how tired this team was. You need that little extra break. You need that bye week, kind of rejuvenate this team, kind of get the juices flowing again. And I agree with that. Although, Wayne's take was as long as we make the playoffs, we're built for the playoffs and we can beat teams, we can go on a run. But I just think we need to have that home field advantage, have Levi Stadium flowing, have the crowd cheering, and, just have that Niner fan base going crazy. Obviously, we know how great the fan base is and they travel no matter where they play. But having the number one seed to me is so imperative, not just for the fans, but because they need that rest. Because you're absolutely right, Eric. The 49ers play so freaking tough, so hard, so physical. They hit you in the mouth, and then hitting someone in the mouth, you're going to get tired doing it. You're going to get tired doing it. And you're right. Bosa was out of gas. 100%. How many sacks will Bosa get next year? I think he gets like 19, 20. I think he could get 20 next year. Again, you got Hargrave in the middle. I am so excited to see what Javon Hargrave will do. He's going to be a dog in that middle, man, because now teams are going to have to double cover him because he's going to pass rush from the middle. I know, and the more I've been thinking about it, like, yes, I would love to have a guy on the edge, a guy on the side, on the opposite side of Bosa to help out. And I think Drake Jackson could be the guy if he gets his body right. And that's what we're hoping for. But I feel like the 49ers are really banking on Drake to take that step. And it would be great to have an edge. But Javon Hargrave can rush from the middle. He can take that center and just throw him around. And then you have free reign right up the middle. The quarterback sees this, and he's trying to drop back. And he sees a guy right in his face. If he parries him, he's going to go right into the side. And then guess who's there on the side? It's Nick Bosa. So, yes, we need an edge rusher. But Javon Hargrave being able to rush up the middle is so scary. And then you got Arik Armstead who can slip right through. If Hargrave's getting doubled, here comes Armstead, 2 guys on him. Who the hell's going to cover Nick Bosa? That chipping shit's not going to work. When they chip him with the tight end, when these teams try to chip him out, it's not going to work anymore. It's not going to work anymore. I'm telling you, they're going to try. They're going to try to chip Bosa out, and it is not going to work. It is not going to work because you got Hargrave up the middle, and you got Armstead who's going to eat. I'm telling you, Arik Armstead is going to get a lot of just cleanup sacks. He's going to be there. Hargrave's going to be there. Bosa's going to be there. Guy's going to escape, and then Armstead's going to put the pressure. I'm telling you, he's going to get like 8 cleanup sacks this year, at least. At least. Yes, Mark. Quarterbacks cannot step up in the pocket anymore. You're absolutely right. They can drop back. They step up. You just stepped up into Armstead and Hargrave. And he gone. He gone. Todd says, I think Bosa will get 14 sacks. Hargrave will get like 10. I mean, I'll take 10. I'll take 10 and 14, but I think Bosa could get at least. I think he could get at least 18. I think he gets at least close to where it was last year. As you got to figure, he's getting paid this offseason. He's going to be money motivated. He wants to prove he's worth that much. He's going to be hungry because last year they, fell down the stretch, and a lot of people are saying he was gassed out, which I'm sure he's going to train his body to be even stronger this year, which is crazy because Bosa trains like a madman. We love him. We know how much of a, competitor he is and how, clean he is. His training is so, intense, how he's talked about it, how he's just so regimented. He's so disciplined. I'm sure he looks back at last year and goes, man, I was tired down the stretch. That's not going to happen again. He's going to improve his training, and Nick Bosa is going to go out there and just dominate. The year after getting Defensive Player of the Year, getting paid, and now you have Hargrave in the middle, he can get at least 18 sacks. That's it. So 49ers throwback 70 sacks. Aaron says 65 sacks. I don't know about all that, but definitely can get 20. Would love to see it. If he gets 75 sacks, put him in the Hall of Fame, give him the gold jacket, and just give him the Hall of Fame. He can be the first active Hall of Fame player in the NFL. Active NFL player going into the Hall of Fame. That would be crazy. There's absolutely no way. Can you imagine 75? How many sacks a game do you have to have? Was there 17 games? How many sacks a game would that be? That would be, let's do the quick math. 75 divided by 17. That's 4 sacks, 4.4 sacks a game. Oh, talking about the whole D-line. I thought you were just talking about Nick Bosa. Can you imagine Nick Bosa getting 4.4 sacks a game? The defense, the team can get 4.4 sacks a game. I can see that. I can see that. 100%. 100%. Whew. I'm so excited about this team. Back-to-back MVP for Bosa would be nice, Hurricane. But yeah, there's nothing much else to talk about. Obviously Wayne had to dip a little early. I'll take 2 more questions and I'm gonna dip out. I'm gonna help my daughter with a few things here. As we get ready for this evening to get rolling. But we'll take 2 more questions. I'm gonna call it a night. Wayne, Breezy, and myself. We'll be back next week, a little bit longer. Obviously, it'll be our normal show. Today was just a quick. We only had a quick amount of time to do our 30 minutes today. So, but yeah, 2 more questions. Make sure you hit up Wayne Breezy's Discord tomorrow. He'll have there's going to be a poll on it, and check out Wayne. He'll have some more stuff for us, with the R&B. So, going to be good stuff. I can't wait for draft day either. 21 sacks for Bosa because we're going to Vegas for the Super Bowl. I hope that'll be nice to see a Super Bowl in my hometown of Las Vegas. Dream draft scenario for San Francisco. Do I still do a call-in show? I haven't done it in a minute. I should probably. I keep saying I need to bring it back. Just yeah. Hopefully we'll bring it back soon. Dream draft scenario for San Francisco. Whew, man. If they can trade up and get an edge or a right tackle, maybe Cody Mock, Byron Young, one of those 2 guys. I mean, those guys are phenomenal. Go get one of those guys. Get Kuntz at tight end. Jamie Robinson, safety. Like, those are some of the guys I really want. But honestly, as long as the 49ers get some players that can start in a few years or within the next year or so, I'll be happy. I do want to make sure they get a really, really good offensive tackle, because I don't know how long Trent Williams is going to be playing on this team. You want to start thinking about his future now instead of later. I think you need to trade up and maybe get an edge because, again, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Drake Jackson, Clellan Ferrell, and Austin Bryant. Austin Bryant's had a lot of injuries over the years, and we can't, guarantee he's going to step up and do the things that we think he can with Chris Kasurek, but I need another edge. I just don't feel content with this D-line. And then maybe they'll do good, and again, maybe that rotation will be good, but I want this team to be elite. I want this edge rushing tandem to be a trio. I want Drake Jackson, a dog on the edge, and Nick Bosa with Hargrave, and you can never have too much good pass rushers. You honestly can't. So if they can go get an edge, I'd be happy. And then, yeah, tight end, man. They need to help George Kittle. George Kittle's not getting any younger. If you guys saw the Theo Vaughn podcast a few weeks ago, he said this. He said that, as the league go, they asked him. He says, "What does it feel like on game days and after a game?" He goes, "Man, I feel like I've been in multiple car wrecks every Sunday," and that tells you just how much his body goes through. We talked about earlier how physical this team, and they want to beat the shit out of you, and they want to kick you in the teeth, and that's how the 49ers are. Yes, it takes a toll on the other teams that play against the 49ers, but it takes a toll on the actual players, on the 49ers, right? Actually takes a toll on the 49ers. George Kittle said he's going through car accident every week. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. So, a lot of pressure on these guys. So, definitely got to get a tight end. Let's see. I see everybody talking about R&B and some music. Let me see some of your guys' favorite music. I see some Kane Brown. Okay. Let's see. I see some. I saw someone mention Bone Thugs. Bone Thugs and Harmony, man. First of the month, dude. When Bone Thugs was out, man, I remember when that East 1999 album came out. Oh, that was like, it was life changing. That album was crazy. Crept and We Came. That whole album, and when that album was crazy. That was crazy. Bone Thugs, man. They were amazing, man. That was a hell of a group. Hell of a group, man. The Thuggish Ruggish Bone, Weed Song, Bone Thugs, and then they had, man, y'all kill me. Bone Thugs was it. My dad, rest in peace to my dad, but this guy was like the cool guy, the cool dad on the block. So when we were in middle school, the song came out when I was in middle school, or that album came out. I was, in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, around that time. So when Bone was popular, mid-90s. I remember we used to do like every week, different parent would take the kids to school at middle school or whatever, or sometimes we do carpool. And when I got to my dad one day, all of a sudden, nobody started. All the other parents didn't want to do it, or none of the kids wanted to go with the other parents. Because my dad, we'd come in, he'd have MTV The Grind out there. He'd be playing Bone Thugs in the car. He was cool, Dad. He'd take us to 7-Eleven. We'd be late to school, and then I'm like freaking out, Dad, we're gonna be late. He's don't worry, I'm Indian. I'll write you a letter. I'm like, you're not even a doctor, but he had like a prescription pad. He's like, Dr. Malwani, boom, these kids need, this and that. He would write us a letter. He'd take us to 7-Eleven. We'd go get a Slurpee in the morning. This guy was such a bad influence to my friends, but they loved it. He'd come over. And I remember when Bone Thugs would come on, if it was on TV, the music video, he's like, all right, we'll leave after this song. And we'd be like hyped up watching Bone Thugs on the TV. So, man, good times, good stuff, man. My dad was the cool dad, definitely. So, Christy says, I'm the cool mom. Let's go. That's it. That's how it is. You got to be the cool parents. My parents were always the parents that would feed the kids in the name. My mom would feed kids. Like, oh, you'd come home, these middle school kids, high school kids, we hungry, but we're hungry. As soon as we'd come home, you know whose house they'd go to first? They'd knock on my door. They didn't even ask for me. They wouldn't even ask. Oh, is Raj there? Is he good? Can he come out and hang out? They knock on the door. Hey, you got anything to eat, Miss Melon? I'm like, yo, I'm over here. I'll do your homework, kid. And they would like just sit there, wait for me to do my homework. They're like, you're fine. You come out when you don't. They'd come in. They'd be eating all the snacks. I'm like, are you kidding me? So that's how it was growing up. But enough about me. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit that like button. R&B Show. Tune in every week on Wednesday. Again, today was a little condensed version, I guess is the word. But appreciate y'all. And I'll talk to y'all a little later. Did I listen to the Click? Yeah, I did. That was with E40 in there. I remember that group. There were so many bad man. I listened to everything as a kid, absolutely everything as a kid. But we can talk about that a whole nother day. Another day. Maybe I should just do a day where we just talk about random shit. I don't know. Anyways, y'all have a good night. Take care. Love y'all.